Welcome to this video. Yeah, this is Blitz Kibitzing again. I'm on the ICC looking for some good games to kibitz on. So, I'm going to check here. What can we do? There's some good players on. Let's go with my old nemesis Olegas first. Olegas in this game here, playing white. Yeah, this is International Master Krivonosov, and as usual he's got some endgame on the board. This time not a dead one where he's playing on time. This is just better for white. Let's see how he's faring against Federico here, player with the Brazil flag. Yeah, white is much better due to his better space and the two bishops. He has g5 coming, and this will be difficult for black to meet. White has all the time in the world to improve. We can even put bishop f1 h3. Yeah, this is what I would play at least, activating the bishop to the fullest. But you can also go g5 like Olegas did here, just breaking through. g6 is the threat. Yeah, and here white should probably take on h6 and try to invade. Yeah, with rook. Yeah, rook g7 is debatable actually. Bishop g4. That's an interesting decision. Not sure if he wants to get g6. Yeah, I see the point. He wants to have g6 available. That's very, very good, yes. White wants to take on h6 and then have rook g6. This is why he traded the light squared bishops. Not sure if you want to take sorry, if you want to take now. You can, but not necessary. Bishop e1. Okay. Not sure where he's going really. Maybe now he wants to take. I mean, he's really very pragmatic. He just wants to win. He doesn't care how he wins. So he can also just shuffle and win on time, which could be possible here, that he just does that. I mean, I have my experiences here. He's not necessarily trying to win the position. And white has plenty of ideas to do that. You could, for example, you could try to bring the king over, but black is doing something. Okay, rook g5 and bishop h4. Yeah, and then the king around, yeah, king c3, d2, and so on. King over to the king side is a way forward. Check. Okay, he immediately goes for the breakthrough. That's also good, probably. Yeah, rook g6. Check. Rook g6, king e7, bishop h4, check. That looks very problematic. Check. Yeah, and where are you going now? Yeah, c6 was falling. Rook e8 probably. Rook c8, I'm sorry, or rook e6. Check. One of those checks black is probably
forfeits on time.
The sound is very, very loud. I'm going to reduce it a little bit. I recently had to turn up the volume to get some Skype calls in. Okay, this was a typical Olegas grind. Let's see what else is there. Plenty of titled players around. I'm just trying to select something interesting or something of special interest. Let's say there are many good games. Let's go here with Gore playing white against Maradona. Yeah, Gore. That I always forget his name. Igor Yanvayov. This is one of those. Yeah. Well, let's not talk about it. He's playing white here against Maradona. He's also one of those rook against rook guys. So I have my fair share of experience against him. So here, a King's Indian Petrosian system that was. And I think Gore with the white here is a little bit better. Yeah, f4 is an interesting move. Yeah, blasting open the center. Not playing passively waiting for f5, but trying to open up the position yourself. Ideally, white would want something like e takes f4, bishop takes f4, and even e4, e5 for white. This would be really nice. And if black is not reacting here, like bishop, maybe knight d6 is a move. Yeah, here f5 is also an idea. Not sure about it, if it's good, but it could be an interesting idea. Gains lots of space. Yeah. And, well, black can play knight d6, but this is really not much counterplay. Plus there's tactics, yeah, like f6 and things like that. White can also just, yeah, build up here, something like this. You have plenty of time. This knight is nice on d6, but it is not like black has an active plan, while white can go king h1, yeah, rook f2, rook to g1, g4, something like that, long term. The best that black can do is at some point take on f5 and try to play e5, e4, freeing the bishop, but I don't see that happening. So white is definitely in good shape. Yeah, rook f3, intending rook h3 is also a move here. Yeah, and he went for that. Now that doesn't look too great for black. Rook h3 is a very, very problematic move. And if you do, let's say h5, yeah, there's even bishop g5 maybe coming, and the queen is without any square. Yeah, h5 is not on. How do you even protect h6? You move the queen back to e7. It's also f5, f6, yeah, as a threat. And this is very, very dangerous now for black. Not sure how he keeps, how he stays on the board. If he takes on f5, he just goes back, yeah. Yeah, rook h3 is maybe just possible. h5 and even g4, as brutal as it looks, but if it crashes through, it just crashes through and wins. Rook h8 or something. Wow. G takes h5, e takes f5, h6 or something. H6 looks interesting, but maybe this is not helping that much. Sometimes pushing those pawns is not helping. Yeah, but okay, black is threatening f4, yeah? So you probably don't have time for king h1 or something like that. Maybe just taking on f5 at first and then continue. Yeah, it's tricky. It's a somewhat tricky position. E takes f5. Knight f5. Or bishop f5. That's a relatively simple solution, but probably a good one. Yeah, h6 is a huge threat. King has to step in. Here bishop h6 is interesting. I thought king h7 is better, but of course black is somewhat on the ropes. It's just white attacking with almost all pieces, and black has yeah, very little to play for on his own. Bishop h6. Rook g8 takes everything, and queen g5 wins a piece. Yeah, bishop h6 just wins the game now, I think. Well, what else? Yeah, black cannot take on h6. It's just directly mated. Bishop h6, bishop f6. You take f8, and black can resign. Yeah, black will resign now, I guess. There's absolutely no playable move.
Black resigns.
Yeah, that was a really good game by Gore here, the white player. I think it looked like that. Cannot be 100% sure, but it looked nice. I mean, around here with f4 and f5, this was really strong. Black was in huge trouble, and queen h4. Yeah, this accelerated the downfall here of black's position. Okay, let's see what else is there. I have to check on the right hand side what games are on. Yeah, let's do this. Sir John against Olegas. Sir John is very strong. I am. Yonos Georgiadis, sorry, yeah, from Greece, and it's 2-5 something. I have played him a lot with earlier accounts. I only had him twice with 50% score with Chess Explained, but I've played him a lot earlier, and it's very strong. And it's an evenly matched pairing here. So let's have a look. Olegas is playing black here. He played a Queen's Gambit, declined, and he has a nice position again. He has this pass pawn, the c4 pawn, and he has control in this position. White basically has just one plan here, f3, e4, and if you look at that, black has all pieces, basically all pieces directed against this. d5, bishop on f5, both rooks, so e4 is very difficult to achieve. So difficult to play this position as white. However, it's possible that we are talking about a fortress-like situation where it is difficult for black to organize winning progress. That's really possible. e3 is a weakness which is securely protected by king and rook, and well, both rooks actually, and it's not so clear how black intends to improve his position and somehow strengthen the attack here. Black only has has moves exactly with his kingside pawns. f5, f4. That's really the idea that comes to mind. That will be difficult. Maybe on f4, white just shuffle after f4. But if you take a couple of times on e3, then still the c pawn will run. This is also getting to Zugzwang territory with bishop d3 now is a big threat. Black is just flat out winning here, I guess. Maybe you can you play ef, taking on f4? ef. E takes f, g takes f. Yeah, it's hard to believe that black shouldn't win here. It's just so overwhelming. But still, e takes f, g takes f, rook e7, bishop e2. Where is the progress here? Rook e7, bishop e2, 4, and white is just staying. Yeah, doesn't do anything. Yeah, black has all the time in the world. He does not have to rush things. White has absolutely no active idea. He cannot even play rook c1, intending rook e1. I mean, despite the fact that it might be losing the rook trade, but on rook c1 there's rook e3 coming. Yeah, Olegas has 1 minute more on the clock.
Game drawn.
Oh, he accidentally repeated here. I think he would play on time otherwise. Okay, so a draw in a position where black is just better, but maybe there is no way forward. That's possible. Let's see. We got a new game to look at. I prefer 5 minutes because you have more time to do commentary, and it's simply a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit of higher quality in comparison. Wait. Let's do this. This is 3 minutes, I know, but the white player here is Alexander Morozovich. Yeah, so super GM playing. Igor Geroev. He stayed no name in there, but that's really Morozovich. It's something that is pretty much clear. There is a list where ICC handles are attached to real names. In those cases where there are no names in there, they use other information that they accumulated somewhere else, for example online tournaments or something like that. And this is really Morozovich playing white, playing against Isham. Let's see who that is. Hisham Hamdoushi. Yeah, this is one of the strongest GMs from Africa, yeah. I think Hamdouchi is he from Algeria or Morocco? I'm sorry about that. I don't know it exactly. Yeah, he's very strong. A good 2,500 GM. So let's see here. This is coming from Scandinavian defense. And Mirosevic is white. He's got like 3 extra pawns. And but it's a messy position. And well, white has won all those kingside pawns, but in the process also has opened up his king. And maybe rook e8 now, but there's bishop queen g4 check, yeah. Rook e8 is no great pin. And there's f4, check. Yeah, also. But he prefers to... Yeah, this is a good practical move, yeah. The bishop on g3 is sort of the... Yeah, is the... Oh, rook a1 catches the bishop, maybe. It's a good pin. The bishop on g3 keeps the whole kingside tidied up and secured. So it's kind of an insurance policy for the white king. Yeah, and now the bishop a3 drops. Yeah, this will... Moro will win this. That much is clear.
Resigns.
Maybe I try to follow him if he's playing a couple of more games. It's always entertaining to watch him. So it's a very enterprising, inventive player. And if he's not playing anymore, we will look for something else. I'm following him, hoping for a new game. I'll give it a little bit of time. I'm not sure if he's immediately trying to get a new game. Maybe he's preferring 3 minutes. That's very likely, actually. But for that good a player, we are okay with it. And there is no totally outstanding 5-minute game to watch. Some good ones, but nothing really brilliant. Yeah, okay, I keep an eye, and if he is playing a little bit more, I will go back to Mirosevic. Until this happens, or not, we look at the end of this 3-minute game between black player Suneberg Hansen, and white is, I don't know who that is, Mikhail Lushenkov, an IM from Russia, check. Younger IM. And black has an extra piece. Black has an extra check. Piece and probably will win this despite the time issues. Both have little time, 20-ish seconds. Okay, that wasn't that interesting anyway, so the follow actually worked, and now we are looking at Mirosevic here playing black against Melekon. That's Mika Akartunen. Yeah, I played him before, right? 1 out of 3 in the 5-minute pool, and this is the 3-minute pool. The auto pairing, often referred as the pool. Yeah, we have a collie opening, not very aggressive for white at first, but this is actually often leading to interesting positions, like here, yeah, knight c3, bishop g7, white has d5, which is very sharp actually, or white has also e4, I believe, but d5 is quite interesting, going for a pawn sacrifice if black accepts it. Oh, that's not very common. But all they are interesting. This is interesting. Knight to d6, but isn't this a little bit like a lone warrior, this knight on d6? It's not doing that much. Okay, Moro is simply hacking the knight, and now knight to c6. That's an interesting decision. Yeah? He's not bothering with bishop c6, which blocks up the position, but develops quickly. Yeah, and now we see that he really has a good position here. Yeah, black has an excellent development, and he can even take everything off now and play d5, after which, yeah, like knight d3, queen d3. Okay, this is also a good move, but taking everything and then d5 was interesting to get the 2 pawns in the center going and just claim that the bishop on g7 is much better than the one on c1, which is a claim that is probably very successful. Yeah, maybe here, what about queen a6 or b4, something like that, attacking the pawn. Okay, didn't do that. Yeah, a5, a4. is also an interesting idea, trying to play for a3 and also sort of anticipating white's idea to play b3 to support the c4 pawn, so that you can always take this b3 pawn appearing. Yeah, well, this is fairly solid for black, but probably not not brilliant. And knight b4. Okay, white could take a4, so he's preparing knight b4 actually with queen a6. Okay. Well, knight b4, yes, that looks good. Yeah, also d5. Yeah, that's powerful play by Mirosevic here, but just strong. Yeah, pushing the d7 pawn. It was a passive pawn, and now it turns into a strong pawn with this d4, possibly c4, those attacking moves. Oh, white just blundered a2 here, and this will cost him the game. I mean, he was in trouble anyway, but if you give up the a pawn, yeah, black now just goes back to b4 or to c3, and then he'll play a2 and promote his pawn. That's probably nothing that white can save ever. Yeah, probably just back and a2, yeah. Yeah, white has no attack. He can go f5, take on g6, but there is no attack really. And the combination of the outside passer on the a file and the bishop on the long diagonal is just deadly, yeah. The pawn will just crash through. Can even go bishop g7 here. Okay, we went for the horizontal cover, let's say. Yeah, and then now a2. Come on. Not. Okay, yeah. Well, black is so comfortable here. He can do many things. Knight c2 also. Yeah, not blundering the rook now, yeah. Yeah, better move the rook. And now you can take everything off. Queen e5 is also... Oh, no, queen e3 Check. To trade and force resignation. Yeah, that was a really convincing win by Mirosevic. Of course, he's a really strong player. I mean, at his best, he was like number 2 in the world. Yeah, for a very short period of time. Admittedly, it's very close to being number 1 by rating actually. So it's clearly a case where he's the better player compared to an IM. Yeah, this guy is probably around my level, and if I play against Moro, I just get crushed. At least in almost all games. I don't think I ever played him on the ICC. I played many top players at least once or twice, but not Mirosevic. Okay, let's have a look. He's taking his time till the new game starts. This is actually an advantage of the challenge system sometimes. If you do Kibitzing, if they play those little matches, they just continue to play game after game after game. So you don't have any breaks between the single games. Okay, if he starts a new game, we will jump back to that automatically. But up to this point, let's watch a little bit of this. Ah yeah, here we have Grandmaster Atalik playing black against Ben Mia Corsi. I don't know that guy. It's got no name in there. Some Italian player. But Atalik here already has an excellent position. He has a good play here against f2. White cannot move the rook, which means he will probably lose the exchange, as the rook leaving means f2 falls and it's checkmate to follow. So he will win at least the exchange on f1, and the white also, yeah, he does not have any active plan. This was out of a Dutch defense, yeah, almost. Knight f3, f5, and then white went with d3. The way I see it, white played a very unassuming setup, and very often this leads to big trouble. If you, against Dutch setups, if you play in a meek fashion, a somewhat passive fashion, you quite often will simply get wiped out, yeah, because the black setup is so aggressive. Okay, that was a fairly short view on this game, and Mirosevic unfortunately has disconnected, so we will look at some other games. It's not like he's the only player of interest competing at the moment. I have a game here, Porco with white. Porco, I don't know that guy, from Brazil. Again against Gore. Yeah, Gore is a good player. Yeah, I played him a lot. It's just like he's doing those time things, but he's a very strong player actually. Always around 2,400 something. Okay, here we have a very close position, but Gore playing black has already accomplished a nice space advantage with pawns on c4 and d4. So he's got a clamp on the position. We could also, if we want, I could flip the board, yeah. But let's keep it like that. It's get irritating if I start flipping the board all the time. Yeah, black space advantage is very good, and he was the first to get in a5. So trying to open up the a file, he played rook a7 to possibly play rook a8, but now white switched his attention to the move f3. So the f file has opened. It's not quite clear, maybe, and probably, I think, black now should also rethink his strategy. Oh, again, I thought maybe bishop h3, rook f7 would be on, but now that white has basically committed suicide on the queen side, you will just take the pawns there. Yeah, white was in huge trouble. He had this passive position without any active plan. This is, of course, a 5-minute game, yeah, before you get irritated by the times it's mostly 3 and 5 minutes that is played, and this was a 5-minute game. Yeah, white is really, yeah, almost lost there. Black can go for pure queenside play with a3, trying to promote the pawn, or could still play bishop h3. Yeah, it's both possible. He's better on both flanks. Especially bad the knight on d2 and the bishop on c2. This is really just completely, yeah, those pieces are simply terrible. Yeah, the most important thing, if you are black in such a position, you have total control, is trying to not allow any counterplay and improve your position to the utmost. They're not striking too early, simply because white is so passive, he cannot do anything. So it's a good idea to improve everything until it's on the best possible squares, and only then strike, not trying to be quick or anything. Yeah? There's no real need to win quickly. It's important to win in a way that there's nothing happening. Yeah, and here white actually has blundered e3. That's a good thing that often comes with being patient in winning positions. Quite often the opponent, being in this sad position, will make a mistake and make it much easier for you. So sometimes playing some little moves that improve your position is actually winning quicker than the idea that is more brutal in a way, because yeah, keeping the opponent guessing what's coming next is often the most dangerous way to go, and then they make a mistake because they have no active good move. They make a mistake. Yeah, here black is just fantastic shape, foreshadowing the knight and basically and preparing queen e3. Yeah, that's a nice invasion move. Queen e3, rook f2. Yeah, excellent position.
Check.
Yeah, black can even take on c3, I think. Yeah, black, I think he's out to kill him now. Yeah, keeping or taking more pawns is not really that great, but yeah, here he probably has no big choice. Yeah, white is almost forcing that. Bishop takes c4. Is this maybe an idea? No, didn't do that. Maybe knight e3. This knight on g2 is really yeah, a funny piece placement, but ultimately it's not doing that much. And if white now has to trade, queen takes, there is the threat bishop f2, which looks decisive really. Bishop g2, I'm sorry, bishop g2 check. Don't see a move here at all. Bishop g2 check, king g1, and then
check.
just discover checks. King h7. That's not so difficult. Bishop g2 check, king g1, rook takes e2, checkmate is the threat. And white can basically only give up all its pieces to prevent it. Yeah, rook h8, desperado stuff. Or queen g1, bishop f1, those kind of moves that will lead to mate a little bit later.
White resigns.
I didn't find a playable move simply because there is none. Okay, let's see. Next game. Yeah, maybe go for this Atalik game. Atalik, Grandmaster Atalik playing International Master Chua. Let's check who that is. Jonas Lampert. Oh, he's not playing that often on the ICC. Maybe relatively new here. He's played some 1 minute game. That's a young player. He's, let me think about it. Probably 16 or 17. He's an IM. One of the promising German juniors. And he's up on time, and he's got a lost position, right? White is attacking every piece here, yeah? B2, B4, A8, yeah? Everything's hanging. So this is a matter of Suat Atalik trying to not lose on time, and he's rook up, yeah, probably. Can just retreat the A8 bishop, and white is a rook up. So yeah, this game only continues because it's a non-increment time control, and Atalik is on 17 seconds while Lampert has got 1 minute. So they will continue this. Atalik is playing really slowly. Probably, I mean, always already a little bit. Yeah, he resigned himself probably a little bit to his fate that he will lose on time. But at the beginning, it was, I think, doable. Yeah, it wasn't difficult to make quick moves.
Forfeits on time.
Quick moves. But he was really slow. He isn't that slow normally. I played him a number of times in the 5-minute pool. And it's not like he's a speed demon, but he's not slow. He was in this game though. Sometimes it happens if people switch their equipment. Yeah, they have a new mouse or playing on their mobile phone. Even that happened. Yeah, I played some Blitz games on my mobile phone once during a barbecue after I had some beers. This was quite funny. I mean, I think I lost all games. Okay, so let's see. Do we have an attractive game here? Let's do this. Atalik with white against Isham. Isham was Hamdushi, right? So, okay. We have a Sicilian Maroxy bind out of knight f3 though. And Isham here is taking early on d4 in a very early stage. Yeah, we are now in a line that is called the Gugenitzer system with an early capture on d4. a5 is interesting, and now b3 is a good move. This is from the game Caruana Carlsen of the Singfield Cup. After a4, b4 is good for white, and Atalik will... Oh, he's not doing that. I thought he will know that. He's a very good theoretical player. Wow, okay. That's surprising. In this position, black should be quite okay, but if white would have played b4 immediately, we would have gotten to this game where Caruana had a really nice position.
Check.
And had Carlsen on the ropes. Was very close to winning his eighth game in a row. Bishop to e6, knight d7, this kind of moves, or this move. Yeah, I think black with now rook a2 invading on the a file should be alright, unless there's some tactic based on the knight on b6. But white is not well developed, yeah? The bishop is still on f1, he has not castled and gotten his rook on h1 into play. I think this is a really failed opening, yeah, somehow. Interesting, that's an interesting move. C takes, d takes, and maybe b4, yeah? It's Atalik's idea? No, e5 is his idea. Of course, yeah. If the knight now moves, d7 drops, but there is this, yeah, exactly, there's this move, attacking the rook, takes b1, and rook d8, yeah, probably, not king takes, yeah, rook d8, and the problem is that black is having all pieces in play. From a material point of view, that's not bad. White has got 2 pieces, but black is so active. Well, I cannot play rook d2 though. Not so easy. How does black get his rook on d8 into the game? If he plays bishop d3, white will maybe take and castle. Maybe bishop c2, yeah? Bishop c2. If white develops his bishop to c4, there's rook d1. Yeah, I think this is good. Just taking now on b3. That's actually with check.
Check.
There are some other discovery, probably not. And now maybe just bishop e6 or something. Ah, that's much stronger. No, this is much stronger. I have a strong play here by Hamdushi. He's just pinning the bishop on f1 against the rook. So white is still suffering from this lack of development. He lost lots of time in the opening phase. Oh, knight e7 mate. Black has rook e1, yeah? Rook e1. Rook e1, bishop e2 maybe. Wow. Is this good for white? What a position. Wow. Yeah. This is funny. Bishop b5 for rook h1, bishop d7, and knight e7 checkmate is almost impossible to prevent, yeah? Wow, that's cool. White got an out of the blue counter attack with knight c8. Wow. I don't know. It still looks very dangerous for black. Any kind of check will be a checkmate. Yeah, like this rook d8. Wow, the knight on b6 is such a strong piece. Yeah, the knight kills the rooks completely. Yeah.
Black resigns.
Wow. Yeah, it was actually a very good game by Isham at first, but then Atalik somehow got his pieces coordinated, and probably here there is the key moment. When the knight came to c8, it immediately looked dangerous. Probably he should have done something else instead of this rook move. Wow. Very nice end of this game. Okay, let's see, let's do one more game at least. What do we have? Here, a GM with black, one that I didn't kibitz on yet. We've got Lord Fleshheart, white player from Denmark, against Blue Shark 23. Who is Blue Shark 23? Tibor Tolnai. Okay, that's a veteran GM from Hungary. Really, he is a GM for a long time, since the 90s, I'd say. And he's playing black here, and he's got very little development going for him. Now knight g5. Huh? That's difficult. Knight g5. You cannot go f5 because of knight to e6. And if you cannot go f5, black is probably forced to take on d5, after which knight takes e4 gives white a fantastic lead in development. That's very difficult for black. Knight takes e4 now. How do you develop? g6, knight f6 checkmate is a pretty clear refutation of one way to try to develop. Yeah, somehow Tolnai, he played a ton of pawn moves, it seems. He's a sharp, creative player. Sometimes this type of player gets into trouble when they are being a little bit too creative. I wonder, is there maybe bishop c1 to f4? This type of idea. That's also interesting. Intending bishop a3. On b2, this bishop is really doing absolutely nothing. Also a5, yeah, could be a move. Queen e2, attacking a6 and e7. That's probably good. Yep, double attack found by Lord Fleshheart. Sometimes I wonder where people come up with their names, but it is probably, yeah, it's probably very often done in a moment where you didn't really think much about it. I mean, my Chess Explained name is also not exactly the result of a long thought process. I was just sitting there, and when I intended to upload a video on YouTube, I just wanted to show it to a friend of mine who asked me if I could do such a Blitz video with commentary in German at the time. I was just recognizing, okay, I need an account on YouTube. I mean, I never really looked at it much. Check. And I had to use something. So I went for Chess Explained. This was somehow coming to my mind. So, and it stuck. And when I did this, I also never really thought about that I would actually be perceived as my name. Yeah, it's just a channel name. And well, okay, it is working, I guess. Okay, here White has still kept an advantage, check. But it didn't feel like it was the best possible way to continue. White has got a pawn and will get d5 as well, but Black managed to get opposite colored bishops, and at least a bishop endgame, if rooks are being traded, would certainly be probably holdable. Wonder what White is doing here. Rook e3 and then rook e5 looked a bit strange. I think what he can do is he can get d5 with his bishop, trying to get this without a rook trade. It's not easy actually. Yeah. Bishop d5, there's probably f6, something like that. Yeah, White wants to get the d5 pawn without trading rooks. Maybe king f1 e2 d3 is an idea, trying to cover this with the king. And Black wants to get the d4 pawn, trade those two pawns, and ideally somehow get rooks off to draw the opposite colored bishop's endgame. Like this, yeah, exactly. Takes, bishop c3, but bishop g8, yeah, or this move is possible, which allows White to keep two pawns. Yeah, those endgames, they're always tricky. White is 2 pawns up. The pawns are relatively close to one another. Is this a win or not? And there are many situations that are definitely not winning. And I'm not sure about this. Yeah, king g2 now wins. It wins the bishop. Okay, again king g2 wins the bishop. Come on. What is White doing here? He's playing it in a way that even allows Black some saving chances. Maybe White still wins. Yeah, you get king g6 to f7 to g7 and pick up the h pawn. Yeah, okay.
Black resigns.
But king g2 earlier, it was funnier. But okay, sometimes you do the weirdest things in Blitz. King g2 here was winning, of course, and here again king g2 is not that difficult. Just going to g2 and trap this. Okay. Do we have one more really good game? What do we have? No real well-known players around. Okay, let's go with Suat Atalik again. He's really a good player. I enjoy watching him. It's he really tries to win by chess means and tries to play good moves. Okay, this came out of a Grunfeld. Quite a sharp position. Material is not equal. Black is a pawn down, but Black has a fantastic g7 bishop on the long diagonal. He's got a4 working for him. And rook on e8. Yeah, Black has... Yeah, this is a little bit typical for the Grunfeld. Yeah, Black has this active pieces. Bishops on d7, g7. And yeah, he's quite well coordinated. But White, of course, has the d7 pawn. the d6 pawn. It could go to d7 sometimes, for example here, but rook d7 seems to stop it. I'd be surprised if white is good here. I think black's activity should at least give him a decent game. But of course, this is a position, bishop takes d4. Bishop d4, queen d4, rook e1 is a typical idea. Rook e1 and resigns. Check. Oops. Yeah, black has won the queen. White blundered here. But he's just continuing like nothing ever happened. Okay. Who is the white player actually? Daniel for San Esteban. Don't know that one. He's not playing 5-minute much.
White
so in
resigns.
the 3-minute pool you very often see players who are not really appearing on my channel as opponents because they don't play 5-minute. They concentrate on playing 3-minute. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Kibitz video. It was 45 minutes of good Blitz chess, I think, some interesting moments and thrilling games. Yeah, I will do some more of those, of course, during the time up to Christmas. So yeah, check out the channel. There will be uploads here and there of those bonus videos. Thanks for watching.